Good question. Um, yeah, we got a lot of rooftops. Saint Jacques would be great for that. Um, Environmentally friendly, man. It's like what to even start with. Um, Hey, for starters, just off the top of my head, it'd be great to get rid of the bylaws that force us to have front lawns. Such wasted space. It's not environmentally friendly. Lawns are terrible for the environment. And we have rules in place that make it very difficult to grow a garden, that make it very difficult to just like let it grow a little bit wilder and become a better home for wildlife. Um, yeah, like I've met people in the neighborhood who have shown me their gardens and been like, please don't report me because they've set up their front garden like a food garden in ways that aren't allowed by the borough. Um, you want to help the environment, you want to encourage more people to make the neighborhood beautiful and produce a little bit of local food while they're at it. Just get rid of the rules that say that we need to have grass lawns. Basic stuff, small things.
How do you do that? Like, are you able to, or is that like you just no way in hell? Like, just on a curiosity front.
I think that's something we could do. That's local laws, local bylaws. Um, yeah, that's something that can be done locally for sure.
Can you plant fruit trees?
You can absolutely plant fruit trees. Côte St. Luc started doing that a few years ago. That's really cool. People can do that in their backyards already if they want,
But like,
but
what about it
it's
like in the parks and stuff? Like, imagine setting up
yeah,
some
yeah.
apple
That's
trees
that's
in the park.
Yeah, Côte St. Luc. I don't know if it was in the parks, but it was definitely for street trees. That's something that they started doing. We could totally do that. Yeah, and that's not even. You don't even need to change any rules. You just need to like give the order to the employees to do it.
On top of that, it gives you like this like whole like Balarama cares about house, and I'm up on that eco.
Like that's something that no matter where you are, you can do it.
Right.
Like no matter where you are, no matter how much money you have, you want to plant an apple tree, like you can do it. You want to have a little small garden. Gardens are super popular in the neighborhood. We've got public garden plots, and like the wait lines for them are really long. But yeah, there's tons of small stuff that we can do. I don't know. I'm kind of torn between like all these cool little things that we can encourage and like wanting to like go big or go home, you know. Um, and that's I'm still kicking some ideas around, but nothing that I'm going to talk about tonight.
That's fair.
That's keeping under wraps for another few weeks.
Now you do your thing. I mean, I don't know. You're like an active politician guy, so it's a little different than the speculative politician guys.
Well, sometimes like speculation is good. It kind of
No,
gets the
sorry. What
creative
I meant
juices
like
flowing.
is, let's say a candidate isn't like
Yeah,
actively influencing so much as being more speculative of what they would do. It's a lot of what I will do. Whereas you're like right
right.
there right now, and you could go tomorrow, go and start a thing. At least until like November when we go through the gauntlet again, or as I understand it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For a couple more months. Yeah, I think little things like that involve changing local rules so that we could encourage more environmentally friendly things. I'd love to see more environmentally oriented projects in our parks as well. We've got some really cool local organizations that work for like on urban agriculture projects. There's some groups like plant gardens, and they let people know. They put up a sign, "Hey, you want to pick some herbs? You want a couple of small veggies? Here, it's for anyone to take." Like that's really cool. Those things, and like doing them more in our public parks, I think could be really a nice way of making use of some of that space.
Is there like a repository from the city of all the cool like things in the city?
I don't think there's any one repository. No,
Are you able to make one?
no. For the whole city,
Sorry, for like
maybe,
let's say like
maybe.
NDG, like localized.
I think NDG would be possible. I think NDG we could do.
Like from a project management perspective, I could scope that in my head, so I know it's not hard. It's just a matter of
Yeah,
approvals, and somebody you guys would have to hire
it's
somebody
a
to
matter
actually
of
do it.
yeah to compile everything. Like technically, we could yeah. Technically, it's straightforward. We could have a pretty cool interactive map or something. Um, but yeah, just in terms of compiling all the information, like yeah, we could probably find a way of doing that. Like there's some. there's some community groups that have already put out, you know, useful maps of like things that you can find in the neighborhood. When it comes to cool projects and stuff, I think that's just like a variation of that we've never considered doing before.
If y'all did that, and then you did that, just imagine you could say you did that. No, but like
Yeah,
having that
feather in the cap.
resource to me sounds like such a low hanging fruit thing for the government to do. If you're like from my perception, because I know relative
So,
to 98% of your projects, that is low hanging fruit.
we've got a lot of low hanging fruit that we do not pick, my friend. Like that's like I'm gonna come back full circle to what I was saying before. Like there is so much that we could do. Um, you know, and I'm just waiting. Like, of course, I'm saying this now, and then I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and people are gonna be like, "Well, you're there, right?" It's like you were saying before. Well, you're there. Why didn't you do it? Sometimes it takes seeing things from the inside to realize just how much more we could do to like with the things like large and small to improve things in the neighborhood. You know,
And
I've become a
unfortunately,
pretty big believer in like small is beautiful. You know,
I feel like the unfortunate part for the people watching this that you can't say is if he says some of the things that he wants to say, other people in his office place will make his life so fucking difficult that nothing will happen on pride and ego. He can't say that. I can say that. And that's the facts of how it works is you got to watch what you say in a lot of ways or you need it's democracy in a quite literal
well,
sense.
it's not just the workplace, right? It's like it's that whole political game, right?
Mm.
Like a great example is the lawn thing, right? Oh, could we change the rules governing loans? Yeah, we could change the rules governing loans, and then you know, people come back. Well, why haven't you done it yet, right? If it's such a great idea, why haven't you done it? It's like, you know, because it's a big city and there are a lot of things that we try to get done, right? Um, so it's weird how and you know, again, that's something that I love about being able to have these kinds of talks, right? This isn't a political debate. This is not, you know, you or me trying to score points. This is just like two dudes talking about some cool ideas and what could be good to do. And that's the way a healthy civic discussion should at least start, you know? Um, but political discussions don't really go that way because there's always, you know, you're trying to angle for the advantage or you're trying to score a point or something like that. I'm more than happy to like shoot the shit and talk about ideas that could be cool for the neighborhood, even if it's not stuff that I'm gonna like get up and do tomorrow. It's stuff that we should be thinking about. It's good to be thinking about. But yeah, you gotta kind of
That's a good point
oftentimes you
too.
gotta watch what you say.
But it's also like as much as what I'm hearing you say is the people also need to get their shit together in terms of understanding what's possible and not. Because this whole system doesn't work if the general population is that ignorant to the system that they're going to come back at you a week later and be like, yo, why didn't you change the law yet? I mean, that sounds like there's a lot of education on our side that also matters. And like, and I don't,
Yeah.
I am feel very confident saying that my millennial brethren and I have been absolutely garbage at giving a crap about civic duty. It's something I thought a lot about recently, and it's part of why I'm here now because I feel like we neglected this
Respect.
for so long, right? Like none of us care. I'm in my 30s. This is like 50 years ago. I'm a full grown adult in the eyes of everybody halfway through my life, right? Like how like did we get to a point where this is an overgrown childhood age, you know? Like in a lot of ways when it comes down to stuff like being
Yeah.
involved, like we're supposed to be paying attention to politics like as citizens. Like it's not supposed to be something that we like completely neglect because it's kind of boring and it's so boring. But like at the same time, if y'all spent like $500,000 on a dog park, I don't know how much a dog park costs, but if y'all spent like
Thankfully not that much.
but like if y'all
But I hear you.
if y'all
Yeah.
spent like serious money on a dog park, I'm like, I want to know because like y'all could have made a venue, like you know that's how my head's at, and it's like maybe not a venue. I understand that's way more complicated, but like what projects to get done, what happens, I don't know, what even matters. Y'all make $100 a year. I googled it. I was curious. $100 a year. Y'all make good money to like do stuff.
No longer. No
Oh, it's not
longer.
that.
No, man. When I left, I lost. I lost. It's like a solid what, 20 grand, 18 grand. Yeah.
Part of
I
that,
mean, I'm still, don't get me wrong.
I
I'm
just
still doing
Googled
just
what
fine.
Montreal says it pays city councilors, and it said 100 and change a year.
I think that might be the average. Yeah. I'm no longer making the average because I pissed too many people off.
Fair. But that's the case. That's not a shit salary. I'm like, okay, y'all make money. Not like super
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
money, but that's like everybody there makes.
That's like you're good living. It's a good living. Yeah.
And I was like, yo, maybe I gotta rethink. Because Merle was like, you should run. I'm like, I smoke way too much weed to be a politician right now.